I don't know, man. Like when you watch his reviews, about 50% of them are just production information about who's
This is
directing
who
it,
directed it.
who did the
Well, sure, but
cinematography, who did the
thing
sound
is that
editing.
where's the insight other than just
The
like
poster
listing,
is a
you know,
16
people who were
1/2
involved,
by
but not really
29
Oh, we'll
diving
get
into
to
why
insight.
or how they
We
do
can
things.
read his book. Plenty of insight in the book. Okay, it's kind of just like, you know what I mean?
He literally, he has no insight whatsoever. That book that you purchased, which I'm shocked, but that book has made the rounds at the Film Threat White Elephant gift exchange for years.
So yeah, so the context, I'll be as fast as I can to allow you to leave. He made a book called, he wrote one called The Film Buff's Bucket List. The Film Buff's Bucket List. So it's titled The 50 Movies of the 2000s to See Before You Die. All right, here we go. So from the top, American Psycho, Memento, Unbreakable, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Spirited Away, Donnie Darko, Ocean's 11, Minority Report, Signs, X-Men 2, Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl, The Last Samurai, Old Boy, The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, No Fellowship, No Two Towers.
Boo! Fuck you!
I'm sorry.
Are you insane?
I'm so sorry.
Chris?
Just only Return of the
Not you,
King.
you're
You
just
could have
reading
just
it,
put
but-
Lord of the Rings trilogy, but
Yeah.
maybe that's, I don't know. Spider-Man
That's
2.
wild.
Collateral, The Incredibles, Shaun of the Dead, A History of Violence, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. And then we reached one, funnily enough, I think when you described this to me, Fringy, you said Hidden Cache, or Hidden Cache, but on the book it says Cache and then in brackets Hidden. Casino Royale.
So is it cash or hidden cash? Sorry.
So it's Cache, I think Cache or Cache, and then in brackets Hidden. I think that means that's the English translation. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
Casino Royale, The Departed, The Bourne Ultimatum, Zodiac, There Will Be Blood, No Country for Old Men, Trick or Treat, The Dark
I like
Knight,
it too.
Coraline, 500 Days of Summer, Inglourious Bastards, Inception, Toy Story 3, Drive, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, The Avengers, Snowpiercer, Prisoners, The Winter Soldier, Enemy, Under the Skin, Edge of Tomorrow, The Babadook, Birdman, Whiplash, When Marnie Was There, which I don't actually, that's the only one I don't recognize.
Yeah.
Mad Max Fury Road, Creed, and the best one saved for last, of course, Star Wars The Force Awakens.
No.
Make sure you see that before you die, okay?
Corporate approved
and so
list.
I mean,
guess
in
what I
a
would
sense, you
yeah,
kind of want to see it before you die, just to see what they did with Star Wars.
No. Protect
suppose
those
the
old
more
people from
relevant
seeing
part
it.
is,
Why
Man,
die
that is
happy?
the thing about that list is it's just like those are like a lot of really predictable, safe choices.
Yeah.
There's not many like, oh, huh, you know, there's not,
You know, like-
wow, except for like, wow, The Force Awakens, holy shit, okay.
Yeah. A lot of them are so expected that...
Just a bit of a brief tangent, but I just realized it's like, oh, he's got no DreamWorks films on his list either, no Shrek, or Kung Fu Panda.
Oh, you'd think
Interesting.
Shrek would be on here, yeah.
Omissions. You would think that
He's-
at least Shrek, if he was going to
No,
pick
he's
one, then
threw
at
in the
least
anime
Shrek would
ones
make it
though
there.
for his animated movies, which, all right.
Well, I mean, I think Spirited Away is totally fair to be on the list too, but I'm surprised that there is no Shrek on there. Anyway,
Wait, what context are we talking about here?
Shrek is
Long
too much of a
runtimes,
meme. He
or-
can't put that on his list.
oh, just like of 50 films from the 2000s to watch. It's like, well, Shrek is really
Oh, I
great
see.
and influential.
It's a weird book because, again, it's written as though you've seen the films most of the time. And it's all films that most people have heard of if you even have a vague interest in films. Have probably seen as well.
This is a list of films that you should bucket list films, right?
Yeah, see before you die. Make sure you see them.
Yeah, so it's got to be presented from the point of view that you haven't seen these films.
Which is that it's a
You know why,
superhero family.
Friggy? You know why? Because he's saying this as though you've seen it.
Well, yeah, I was just about to say that. Yeah, he
That's
writes
good.
like you've already
Yeah,
completely bought into it and you've seen it.
What's the point of this
That's
fucking
pretty
bucket
funny.
list? When you-
That's-
With the list read out, I'd like to read a quote that is celebrated
Okay.
on the back of the book. This is what sets him apart from the pack and makes his bucket list selection an excellent guide to movies you just gotta see before you start pushing up daisies. I leave it to we'll go from left to right from my Discord. So Fringy is the first. What review would you like to hear from the selection?
Wait, are we having to actually like go through several? Of
Not
these
all of
now?
them, just your choice. Pick one.
Well, yeah, but that means we're gonna go through like 6 of them.
Yeah, could you read me the list one more
alright,
time?
I'll just find the list. Okay, Rags. Yeah, sure. You can pick. Go for
Well,
it.
I'm looking at the list from IMDb, and I saw number 1, and I had to stop there. Let's go with his number 1 pick: Star Wars Episode 5, 6, 7, The Force Awakens.
Oh god damn it, that was going to be my pick.
While it follows a similar formula laid out in previous films, that's pretty funny, The Force Awakens breathes new life into the franchise with its energy, its humor, its emotion, and above all, characters.
I really hope the next one isn't just Empire but bigger. But I could kind of understand that the rationalization was, well, you know, it's been a long time since Star Wars and the prequels weren't universally loved, so you can understand from the studio perspective, you're going to do something that's familiar to everyone, get bums back on seats, restore faith in franchise, and progress from that point. I didn't like the film, but I could kind of understand the decision-making process, I thought. And then, obviously, the rest happened, and it got much, much worse. But yeah, now also, like everyone else, as you say, everyone else is also playing so much on just member-berry iconography stuff that it ceases to, like, be a strategic thing, and it's more just laziness at that point.
I saw someone saying, I watched it in a video, and I was kind of convinced that Tron Legacy is The Force Awakens before The Force Awakens. And I saw them compare them, and I was like, oh shit, that's kind of true. Like, in terms of the approach they made the film with.
Okay.
Yeah, because that film
Did Tron Legacy sort of regurgitate what the first Tron did? Is that what they're kind of saying?
The films that you've never heard of. Those are the two things that probably should enter here. Films that even we would see them and be like, oh yeah, because that had like a 200 million budget, but it only made like 50, and it was really good. Like that kind of movie might end up on here, but there should be it's a bucket list of best movies of all time, and you've thrown, like I said, it feels weird to me that I recognized everyone here except one.
Mm-hmm.
That's
like
odd.
That list we were going over where Force Awakens was at the top of it. Was that the bucket list?
Bucket list. Bucket list films. He made a book called The Film Buff's Bucket List. The 50 movies of the 2000s to see before you die.
Was that the bucket list of his?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because EFEP hasn't spent enough time on this recently, and I want to find out how vapid he is on the subject, how about Return of the King?
Ooh. Oh, only one page for Return of the King.
Oh, shit.
Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, 2003. The word epic, overused as the term may be, was invented to describe movies like The Return of the King. Oh, sorry, he put Return of the King here. He didn't put the there in there. Damn. Fellowship and Towers are both wondrous achievements, but Return captured the looming sense of dread and finality. Return, he keeps referring them just by the... I guess that's fine, you know. Return harnessed a powerful emotional wallop. In hindsight, it's amazing that the trilogy turned out as well as it did. Jackson filmed his opus back to back, which in the past has proven to be a terrible idea. Matrix Reloaded and Revolutions, anyone? What the hell?
That was after he did that, actually.
Yeah, what?
Terrible example.
Here it comes. This is the sentence. It's hard to correct one movie's mistakes when you're already filming the next one.
I mean, in the same sense that it's apparently difficult to fix problems within a film while you're shooting that film.
Yeah, that would be the same thing.
That make a lot of sense? Not really, because you can just do reshoots.
Yeah, all the actual difference would be is that it's longer as a process. Yeah. As much as you can admit, like, well, yeah, but you can't make changes in sort of a retcon way to film one with film two if film two's already been filmed. It's like, well, yeah,
I guess the counter argument would be that if the film already exists, you can't change that film at all.
Well, I suppose the irony is that you can go the opposite direction. If Lord of the Rings was filmed and then released and then filmed and then released, it might have been that fan reactions to the Fellowship might have damaged Two Towers and Return of the King. You never know. Precious can go in both directions. Yeah.
That's true. That's totally true. So, kind of a silly point. It kind of depends on the film.
Well, and it's like, wait, what are we doing again? It's like, oh, sorry, we're 3/4 of the way through a review of The Return of the King.
And it's talking about how it's not necessarily good to film multiple films in a trilogy or series back to back.
He's almost suggesting that it's bad to do back-to-back filming, which is like, what?
Yeah, I'm a little
so
bit
he's
confused
talking
as to
about
what the
Fellowship
point is
there.
He's trying to make.
Sorry. Was he talking about Fellowship of the Ring there?
The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. Return of the King.
Return of the King.
Return of the King. The Return of the King. Return of the King. Return. Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King.
Was he talking about Fellowship of the Ring there?
Also, I haven't
What about
illustrated this
Valentine's
well
time?
enough. I showed Metal this, but with every page you get an illustration to associate with the film. Some of these are fucking dreadful. I wouldn't mind you
Weird.
guessing some of them. You're gonna guess this one. I'll start with this one, alright? So here's number one. This is for a film. Can you guess which one?
It's Casino Royale.
So what movie is this?
Um,
Oh, that's
I don't-
Coraline. That's
Correct.
Coraline.
That is Coraline.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Actually, yeah.
What a shit
I
image
mean,
for Coraline. Here's one all of you should get.
Captain
Oh,
America,
yeah,
the
I
Winter
mean,
Soldier.
Yeah,
No,
everyone.
so-
You see that? You're like, of course, that's Winter Soldier. That's what Winter Soldier is.
And also, look at the Force
Okay,
Awakens
yeah.
is just a bunch of Star Wars stuff
Stuff,
crammed together,
yeah.
and the rest is a single thing.
So I think I missed the context of these. Is this like minimalist posters?
better
They are
with
the
that
accompanying
imagery.
minimalist images
Oh,
to
sorry.
help you.
Yes, the
I don't
million
like-
Shaun of the
years.
Dead?
no.
I guess because
Zombie
you got
and
the
tie.
tie.
Yeah,
tie.
this is the last one of the night. Okay,
Okay.
everybody,
All right, then.
no.
which film is this?
I would say Casino Royale.
Incorrect.
Ah!
Okay.
Return of the King.
Correct.
Oh my
Uh,
god!
you are,
Of course!
but it's not the
Oh.
crown. It's not the crown.
Bring it,
Yes,
this
it's
is
clearly a
easily
different crown.
easily
but it
my
has the
pick
word
for the
king
most
in it.
embarrassing fucking image for Return of the King. Are you kidding?
That's the thumbnail. That's the thumbnail. This is what it's gonna
Fine,
become.
I will make that the thumbnail.
Well,
of the
you need a
reality.
new one because
Yeah, the current thumbnail does not capture the stream at all now.
That's a great inside joke, but I feel like a lot of people are gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
So, well,
guy's
the less we
gonna
talk about last night on
Oh, no.
Soho, the better.
oh fuck. We don't need to talk about that movie.
Office is indeed
Cool.
the best. Correct. That's okay though. It's fine. It's
Mhm.
fine. It's fine.
I guess the
on
bullet
my
point
list,
being-
I
sorry.
I would be
Go for it.
tempted to put a bunch of mainstream shit on my list, but I would probably designate that to like an honorable mentions thing, where it's just like, here's a bunch of mainstream shit that I really liked, but I don't want to put it in the main list because we've all seen this shit.
The thing about that list is it's just like those are like a lot of really predictable, safe choices.
Yeah.
There's not many like, oh, huh, there's not,
You know, like-
wow, except for like, wow, The Force Awakens, holy shit, okay.
Yeah. A lot of them are so expected.
I mean, if there was a few films on that list where it's just like, I think that's more popular than you think it is, but like whatever, it's fine. But like The Force Awakens, that's not the only one. There's a number of like Return of the King is on there as well.
It's all films that most people have heard of if you even have a vague interest in films. Have probably seen as well.
Like, but if
that's
I
a
don't
whole
mention
new
them at
list,
all,
though.
you might think like, have you not seen that? And it's like, yeah, of course I have. But like, I'm just setting that aside and saying, yes, I have seen this. We've all seen this. But here's in my list. Here's a bunch of shit that you might have not seen. Like the chances are, like, maybe you overlooked this. So.
Well,
Very good, Kronk. Here, get the snack.
Got it. The Marvels.
see, and then
A
wouldn't
lot
it
of
be
people
fun
haven't seen that. That's
to
true.
make a top 50 movies avoid like the plague list?
Yeah.
That's just a list. If you want to remind yourself how bad movies can be,
You
And
gotta
you-
I
put
didn't
like.
even bother. After Quantumania, I fucking checked out.
Well, yeah, I was gonna
I'm
say
done,
you'd
dude.
think to put like
Fuck
we
that.
put the Marvels on there, we put in Quantumania on there, we put in Love and Thunder on there, we put in MON. It's like just put the MCU. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Do you think, any
It's
of
too
those
late.
directors are coming back? Do you think any of them are coming back? Peyton,
Well,
Reed,
remember,
and,
Tiger was only there for the paycheck anyway, so they
Yeah.
might.
yeah. Well, because Sam Raimi is maybe, right?
Mm,
He's a
I-
maybe.
I
on coming
think
back.
we can guarantee we'll see another Raimi MCU movie. I just don't know which one it'll be. Because
Right. 'Cause
apparently
if it's
he has to
Secret Wars,
choose
it's a dude.
between an MOM sequel and the Avengers, which, I mean, at that point you may as well just choose Avengers, right? It's more high profile.
It's more high profile, but you've saddled with a script by Michael Waldron.
Well, he was the first time around, and apparently that was just wonderful, so...
Yeah, I suppose so. That's crazy. I was mentioning it the other day, but like, isn't it wild that like I'm pretty sure the showrunner for Fallout, the Amazon Fallout, wrote Captain Marvel and like the Tomb Raider movie, and that's it. I was like, oh, here you go, showrun a Fallout show. And then of course with Michael Waldron, it's like, oh, what, you wrote like one episode of Rick and Morty, and you were like you were like a script editor on Community. Here you go, a whole television show and then a whole movie. I don't get it. I don't understand how you can have such limited experience and then get handed such massive projects.
Here,
They've
have all
been
the
to
money.
the new Avengers film as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's not that it's impossible that somebody could be handed a massive project like that and make something really good, but I don't understand how you can be handed a massive project, not do a very good job, and then like get more shit. I don't understand how that works.
Oh, dude, I still can't believe that. Like, watching those interviews of the guy who wrote Multiverse of Madness, and I think he wrote Quantumania, and I think he's the same guy who's lined up to write Kang Dynasty and Secret
Oh no,
Wars.
he's out now. He's
Is he?
out. He's not doing Kang.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
now Michael
to-
Waldron's writing both.
Well, to set the
Oh,
foundation
okay.
there, it's
Off.
Michael Waldron wrote MOM, Jeff Loveness wrote Quantumania. MOM made a good amount of money. Quantumania did not. Loveness is out. Waldron is in for Avengers.
But Mom
Okay.
only made the money because of
I understand.
It's been so bad that I wonder if DC's having conversations right now of, is this even like a good idea to try and like do this reboot again? Like, is it even worth it to take like these massive chances on a lot of these ones? They're not guaranteed
well,
to
fuck-
succeed.
At least get a writer who gives a fuck. I mean,
Right.
I'm listening to
Step
that
one.
guy who is doing the interviews, and it's just like, it sounds like you don't even care. Like, you just
Well, it's
sound
like a job, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just like,
I just-
oh, I was trying to write this and I didn't know how to do this scene, but I don't know. I figured I threw something together, and it's just like, how the fuck did you get this job? Like, is this the best that Marvel could do? Really, they couldn't find anybody else. You're the decision that they made. Like, we want you to handle the fucking Avengers movies. I mean, I know they have a new guy now, but it's just like,
Waldron is in for Avengers.
like the fact that they even got that guy to do Multiverse of Madness in the first place is just like, come on, dude, get somebody who cares. It sounds
Well,
like you don't
really-
even care.
With the
Oh,
amazing
you had a
scripts for,
you had a sniff
Mando.
of the Rick and Morty script. Yeah, I have the $250 million. Go ahead.
$250
Well,
million movie.
Yeah.
Fully convinced at this point that if ever they're credited as part of a Rick and Morty film that is strong, a Rick and Morty episode that's strong, that it was Dan
Dan Harmon
Harmon.
did
It
it.
wasn't them.
I
Yeah,
can't. I
yeah,
cannot
right.
fathom that the man who wrote the Vat of Acid episode could write Quantumania.
No,
that
it
is
doesn't make any
unfathomable
sense.
to me. Does not
Which is
compute
funny,
in any way, shape,
'cause, like,
or
didn't you-
alternatively, that the person who wrote Pickle Rick was in charge of She-Hulk.
I'm sure some people say, like, didn't you say that, you know, isn't it hard to contextualize Prometheus and Alien are written by or rather directed by the same guy? And it's like, somehow, Vat of Acid and MOM seem more contradictory to me. It just...
Yes, they do. Oh well, Vat of Acid and remember, Michael Waldron wrote the toilet one, which even when it came out, that was one where we
Yeah,
were
we
a
weren't
little bit
sure
more
about
like,
that. But Vat of Acid, I feel like I could show anyone here and in the spheres of influence that I have, and I think they'd be either at the floor of it would be like, yeah, that was funny, but it could go all the way up to like, holy shit, that was really good. Vat of Acid is so good.
Sorry, was Vat of
Pickle
Acid
Rick
a
is not
movie
well
or an
written.
episode of
Pickle
something?
Rick is better than. It was an episode of Rick and Morty. It was the only
Oh,
one that got an
okay.
Emmy.
What season was that? 7?
4.
Four.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't know anything about after season 5. Basically,
Not
that's
really.
where we fell off.
I thought they were on season 7. Maybe
But
I'm
yeah,
wrong.
and-
They are.
The memes and the culture around Pickle Rick has damaged its ability to be praised as an episode for its writing. It's much
Mhm.
better than just him saying I'm a pickle. There's a lot more going on in that
And-
episode.
and
Big
Pickle
Rick
Rick-
Morty.
Pickle Rick is better than She-Hulk. You can't. They're not. They're not the same.
Why would
They're
anyone
not
say
on
it's
the
like
same level.
that?
Well, it's just because that was the writer of that one.
Oh,
Oh, wait,
yeah,
no,
okay.
that also won the Emmy, didn't it?
I'd assume it did. I don't know.
Didn't I think Pickle? Oh, so yeah, Emmy award winning.
Yeah, I don't like the Pickle Rick gag being used as evidence of like shallow writing or whatever. I mean, I think it's a funny gag. It's just like that the grandpa is just so like he just needs to occupy his life with something that he needs to like do a
But he turned
ridiculous
himself into a
experiment like
pickle,
that.
so they don't.
Yeah,
have to go to
I like
therapy.
that joke, you know?
Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty.
Pickle Rick.
Something.
Rick and Morty.
Pickle Rick.
Pickle Rick.
Yeah.
Morty.
Pickle Rick.
Pickle Rick.
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 I'm Pickle Rick.
It's just like that. The grandpa is just so.
Rick.
Rick.
MOM is the worst fucking script to exist in film.
Exactly.
As far as we're concerned, it is staggering. As much as I dislike Prometheus and Covenant, neither of them, even put together, can scratch the depths of depravity that MOM reaches. What a fucked up film.
That's what Phase 4 is. It taught us new ways of being the worst thing ever made. Like, that's what happened. It was all of these different ways of testing the boundaries for how incompetently written a story could be before it didn't even constitute one. Like, definitionally.
That's the film that said, hey, you guys want to see Reed Richards, and you guys have expressed again and again that you'd like to see Krasinski as Reed Richards. Here he is. Now he's fucking dead.
He's spaghetti.
It's like, okay, thanks, I guess. And it's like, hey, you remember that show that some of you liked? Either you don't even know what it's referencing, or you liked it. So the people who liked it and recognized Black Bolt, here he is, dead from being a retard. You're like, oh, okay.
Shortly after introducing incursions to the world, a mechanic that broke the multiverse before it even began.
Hey,
just broke it.
You guys recovering from seeing Professor X get fucking murked by evil Logan in Logan? He's back. He's making his first appearance ever again as dead.
Yeah, awesome.
Wanda killed him in the fucking mind combat. The one place where she should not be killing him. I hate that movie so much. It's so cruel.
Very bad.
I was during Christmas. We had family over, and I was talking with my cousin about movies briefly, and Multiverse of Madness was brought up, and I said how much I hate it and how shit it is. And he said, "Oh, I remember going to see that at the theater. I don't really remember what happened though. It's all just kind of a blur to me."
So it just reminded me as well. Fucking Captain Carter. I could do this all day. Dies.
Cut in half immediately. Yeah, well done.
What a mess.
At least
of a
Captain
movie.
America says I could do this all day and time travels.
So Marvel lets a statue fall on her and does nothing to prevent herself from
She
dying.
put her arms
Yeah,
up.
but that statue kills her. You know,
it's
Captain Marvel
Wanda
has a statue
absorbed
fall on her,
powers.
she dies.
Wanda absorbed all the because that's something she can do.
Do we know what she actually can do? Because they've never.
I don't know.
No,
I don't
no,
care
the answer
anymore.
is
I don't
no.
care. I never want to see that character again.
And yet we probably
tired of
will.
it all. Oh, of course we will. Yeah. Well, then again, who knows? How long is the MCU even going to last in its current state? They can't keep losing money forever. Like that's not tenable. I can't just.
Wait.
Otherwise, you turn it to DC, where you just abruptly end.
Defrost Robot Chat said, in What If they have Peggy say, no, I don't think I will. You fucking kidding me?
Man, I look forward to never watching.
Not only
any
will I
more
never watch it,
episodes
but I
of
just
that
find
show.
it so funny how they keep forcing her to be second fiddle. They don't let her be her own thing at all. Not that any of us are like itching for the fucking Peggy Carter, Captain Carter spin-off, but at least you could
she already
try
got,
and
like,
make her own fucking...
2 seasons of television, right?
I know. It's just trying to make her a thing, and then being like, well, she says the things that the other guy you like says.
She says the things that the person you like says, so therefore you like her, right?
Fucking hell.
So I think are we talking about the what if scenario where Peggy becomes
Is Captain
like
America.
Captain America?
Yeah.
Okay,
Captain Carter.
I didn't see that what if episode. I wasn't sure if we were talking about that or Captain Marvel.
What was the other one? What was the one in wasn't it the Loki season 2? They compared it to Breaking Bad.
Oh.
I
Enough.
Yeah,
feel that
know,
Breaking
right?
Bad made sense though.
Wait, did they acknowledge Breaking Bad as a show in Loki season 2?
No, just the...
No.
Wait, are we talking about Captain Marvel or Captain America?
We're talking about Multiverse of Madness.
Okay, but the guy who wrote Multiverse of Madness also wrote Quantumania.
Those are two different people.
Okay, but in Rick and Morty, who's the grandpa character who turns himself into a pickle?
That would be Rick.
Wait, are we talking about season 7 of Rick and Morty?
No.
What are these pictures you're putting on screen?
These are from Chris Stuckman's book.
He wrote a book?
Yes. We've been reviewing it.
Wait, who's Chris Stuckman?
He's the subject of the EFAP.
Okay, but that's like an inside joke. Nobody's gonna get that.
Let us have our guests talk about what they've got coming up. We'll start with the wonderful The Little Platoon.
Nothing, I think, is the answer. Finally, nothing. For the first time in about 2 years, I have nothing that I'm working on, so that's nice.
When
There'll
that's
be a
the
Rebel Moon
case,
video at some point, but otherwise the 5.5-hour Marvels video will be the last thing I do this year.
my God, and that's available right now.
It is available right
Amazing.
now.
Everyone, go! Exciting, and the Little Platoon on YouTube. Go check it out because the links are a bit confusing. With I didn't know who exactly would be coming in and who wouldn't be today, but that's all right. John, CJG, what are you doing? What are you up to? What's happening? Christmas?
Oh yeah, I mean, I spent Christmas with my mom just watching movies and TV shows.